everybody, Maria here. Today we are going to work on these tags that we made last time for the Vintage Blue Junk Journal. And so you're going to see I have picked out a flower and a matching label because that's the print and that's the label because I just thought it would bring it to the forefront more. And a flower. I'll punch after probably because I'm going to probably have to punch through the flowers on these. And then I want to put something on the labels. So I have a few Tim Holtz sets. Oh, that's in there upside down. That's all right. And I thought I could pick from these to see what I could stamp on there. We'll have to stamp first and then put the label on. So let's see what we can do. All right. And then I have a couple sizes of blocks, and I'm going to use Distress Archival ink. Okay, so that's what I'm using. So for this guy, let's see what we got here. This might look kind of cute, so let's just go for that. On this one, it was one of the first sets I ever got, and I silly pulled the back rubber apart from it, which was a big mistake. I wish I hadn't done that, but I'm not going to buy a whole new set just because of that. All right, so let's see. That's great. Okay, so let's see how that looks on there. And so what I'm going to do is get it on the block, and I'm going to stamp it on my book page first to see how it looks to make sure that it stamps nice. I have a stamp press, but this is so small, you know, I don't know that it would hold it well. Okay, that's great. All right, let's get that on there nice. And just give it time for the ink to transfer. It's a busy background, so we want to give it a second. Okay. Okay, good. And then I'm going to just stamp off on there. I don't tend to clean my stamps, except for something like this, unless I'm using, you know, something that really needs to be like a StazOn. Okay, let's put that back in there. Especially with these. And if they're loose in this packet, who cares? That's no big deal. That's why they're in there. I got these envelopes on Amazon. All right, let's see. That's going to be the first one. This guy is this. And so the lace we glued around the edges with our art glitter glue, and then I sewed it. Okay, so let's see this one. And nothing on here is all that big. Let's see if there's anything here. I like the Perfection. That's nice. I also like this. Maybe we can do a couple. I like that. With that. So let's see how that looks. And we'll do it on our book page again. Okay. And it has a lot of ink on it, but, oh, I should have used my little one. It doesn't matter. It comes off with rubbing alcohol. Well, mostly. So let's see how that looks. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Get that nice and kind of straight. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And that is not centered, but nobody's going to lose their marbles over that. That's pretty cute. Okay, so there's that one. And we've got one more. There's this tag. And we've got these flowers and this label. So let's stamp this off and put these guys back. All right. I feel like I really want to use this Perfection one. I really like that because I'm not perfection or a perfectionist, but it's fun. Okay. So you see how you've got the full rubber backing here, and it's really helpful to keep things where they go. So we've got that. And what could go with that? Let's just do the numbers here. I think that could look good. Okay, let's see here. That, okay. Oh, that's way crooked, way crooked. Okay. Sometimes it's a good idea too to stamp one and then the other when you have one on top of the other like this, but I think we're gonna be okay. So where's my ink? Here's my ink. Tester. Tester looks nice, like that. Okay, and then we're gonna put it on here. It's a fun kit by Raindrop Lila. Okay. Very nice. Okay, great. So we've got our 3 labels stamped. And I don't think I'm going to ink around the edges of anything on this because I think everything will stand out on its own. And since there is lace sewn on here, it would be hard to show without really making the lace look kind of almost dirty. And I don't want to do that, for this at least. Maybe for something else. All right, so I'm just putting away my stamps so that I do not lose them because you see they pop out easy. Those already popped out. So I'm gonna get the stamp sheet back in there and then I'm gonna pop them back in. Is that right? Let's see here. So that if they do pop back out, no biggie, they'll stay in the envelope. And I love Tim Holtz stamps. His stamps are just fantastical. Okay, so let's do that. Put that to the side, out of my way. And then let's move these guys. I'll kind of clean as I go a little bit just so I have room to work. All right, so let's just start. Let's move this. I'll still use that for glue book, but I don't want to, the ink might still be kind of wet and I don't want to mess with that. So I think since, yeah, okay. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because I have a floating kind of fabric here. Since this pulls off and stuff, I want it to be able to stick to the back. So let's go ahead and start with our floral. Although the Oohoo's really good, I just don't know how far back it'll go to the, if it'll go to the very back layer, where I feel like this has a chance to. I'm gonna go like right there. And I'm gonna grab my bone folder. Okay. And then we have our tag. Oh, I wish I had gone higher. Can I go higher still? Let's try it. Why not, right? What do we have to lose? Let's do that. Okay. Then we're going to do this guy. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's the next step in this one. Let's go ahead with this one. And even though it's a blue journal, you want to have some variety. You want to have some coordinating and contrasting colors. Okay. There we go. And there we go. I need my rag. Okay. And then this one. Okay, great. And then this one goes over the edge. I'm gonna pick one edge to do it toward, and then, let's see here, can I, so I want it about there. And then cut off the other side, trying not to be too harsh with the edge of the lace. Okay, about there, I think. And I'm gonna do that. Okay, maybe also that. Okay, and then this guy, I could go to the side. Nah, I like better centered. Okay. So those labels bring back up the print of the tag themselves. And let's grab some scissors. And so that sticks out a little too. I'll cut that too. I'm gonna cut that right there. Great. I'm gonna cut that right there. All right, no worries. That's that one. Let's give those a minute to dry while we work on maybe a pocket or two. I was thinking this, let's zoom out a little, might look good as a pocket. So let's see, there's a pocket, there's a pocket. So somewhere in there maybe here. And then it would wrap around like that, and that could be a tiny, tiny little tuck. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm not the edge of that. It's a cardstock like consistency. So let's move that. Let's grab our weight and let's do this. Let's get our paper punch. Trying to do a little bit bigger. So let's center it here and here. And we're gonna ink. All right. We're gonna go for our traditional walnut stain oxide, and we're just gonna ink. And this is just a piece of a vintage ephemera. And let's go ahead and grab our art glitter glue. So for this, I'm gonna glue the front side first and go along that edge and that edge and that edge. And then for the other side, I'll do it when I get to there. So let's go ahead and grab that. Okay. And there we go. That's a fun little pocket, and we can add, maybe we'll come back and add some lace or something instead of doing it right now. We'll see. I don't know if lace is what I want here. Maybe a label. All right, let's do right here. Okay. I think I've said before, things that are a little bit older, and especially the older they get, they need more glue and they tend to stick better with a wetter glue, for me at least. I know it can depend on where you live and stuff with your humidity and your altitude and all that good stuff. Okay, there's a pocket. Fabulous. And then let's go to the second signature, see where we're at here. Let's see, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before we have something, we could put something right here. I'm thinking a set of 3 pockets, no, 2 pockets, and then the villain pockets. And not my idea, but I love this idea. It's a fun one. Where's my papers? There's my papers. Okay, we're gonna come over here. What did we use this on? We used this on an insert, so that might be okay to still use. We need our blue pages. Okay, so we need these. Let's see here. Do we want to go? Oh, why is there a paper? Oh, it's from this. Okay. That's nice. It's firm enough. That's nice. They kind of go well together. That's beautiful. But you won't, unless it's the front pocket. That could be good in the front pocket. And You could see that. That could be as good as a back. Doesn't really go as much as I'd like. Too busy with each other. All right. And I think these two go together. So I gotta figure out what I want to do because I don't want that with this. Although it could, one of these could go with it because they're small enough. Nope. Okay, let's go back to this one. Yeah, okay. Let's start by taking off the edges of this so that we know exactly what we're working with. I have a hard time visualizing unless I see the exact paper I'm working with. I'm gonna do a video on the printers and the papers I like to print with and print on. So that was a thought I had in case you guys would be interested in that. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, so this will be the top, and then I will have vellum pockets on it. I want to fortify the edges of the sides. All right, so the first thing I want to do is cut. Yeah, I'm not worried about reinforcing the sides. Let's see here. This one's going to be smaller, so I'm not even going to get all of this, but that's all right. So the first one I want to do is this one. And I'm just going to go like this. I want to see some of the page, so let's do that. Okay, so that's going to be first. Let's cut that. I prefer this trimmer whenever I can use it. The other one's fine. I need it for certain things, especially long things and where you want to go into a certain section and cut on a page. That trimmer is marvelous. Okay, so that's a good length. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this. See, that's okay. The same way. And these are both good pieces to save for scrap for either in this journal or another. Okay. And then the next step is getting less crowded. That's the next step. All right. Seeing how this is going to be the back piece. Okay, so I want to work on that edge. To start, I want that reinforced, so let's glue that. Let's get our glue stick, seal that guy up. All right, so then I want to go to, does that feel upside down to you guys? Yeah, but then that's going to be under there, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like that. Got a little, you guys can't see that, sorry. I got a little glue stick on it. All right, and then I don't want to get to the edge because then it's going to start making the binding buckle. So let's get a pencil. I don't like that. That's going to go on the inside now because I got the glue there. That's a bummer. Oh well. I'm going to go to there, and I want to go to maybe there so I can fold it. Okay. Okay. All right. And we're going to do this. Let's see how this looks. Okay, that's good. So that's going to be a pocket. Let's go ahead and glue that guy up. Okay. And we'll punch him in a minute. Then the next one, I want to be, well, first we'll get this edge. We'll do this edge smaller. Because the edges, they just get all the pulling. So that's why you, if you can, you want to reinforce a little bit. You don't have to. Especially on paper that's not super delicate, but there we go. Okay. So then I want to take that to... maybe there. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to cut off a whole bunch of it. Okay. And then we're going to do this. Going to glue this guy. I have a stack of glue books from when I deconstructed books, so I have the insides because I won't waste them. And sitting on the inside, or sitting on the top, was this one loose page that was bigger than the rest. So I don't know where he came from, but using them. All right, so that's gonna do that. That's gonna do that. So we can actually construct this off the page, which is fine. I want to round the corners. I like the corners rounded on a lot of things. Let's just go for the big one. And then I'm gonna, for the punching, sorry, this guy doesn't want to go in. There we go. Want to punch also the edge to give it slots, and we're going to use our envelope punch board. Okay, let's clean all that up. All right, so we're going to do that. I wonder if I should go even a little off. How would that fit? Because I can glue it up right on the page if I do that. Yeah, you know what? I might. And just go a little bit off. Well, no, because then if I do that, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Okay. In any case, for now, let's punch them. I'm going to grab this. So all you do for this, in case you haven't seen it, is just pick where you want to punch. Stick it in there, and you get this fabulous little punch. And then I'm going to go... see, maybe down there. Yep. Okay. So those will be like that, and you know they're pockets. All right, and that's a super cute image, huh? All right. On this one, I'm gonna put vellum pockets. Let's see if I have good size vellum in this. This is my cardstock drawer, but I also put plain things in here like vellum. Not printed though. Not printed vellum. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll work. Cut that. It's got a little tear right there, but that's a good size. So we'll cut that. And we'll make sure that this one's same size. Okay, let's see how that works. Should I go this way? Yeah, I actually like that. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and punch again with our punch board. That's sticking out right there. Let's just clean that up a pinch. No big deal. Okay, we'll put those in together so they have the same slotted punch. Not slotted punch, that's a different punch, but You know what I'm trying to say. All right. Let's glue. So the first thing that we're gonna do is glue these vellum pieces on to our cute little front piece. I'm gonna start with the bottom first. You know what, I'm gonna set this down because I don't want to shake too much. Okay, so we're gonna set that at the bottom. And when you're putting your top one on, remember, whatever you put in, it's gonna go kind of high, so it could go kind of high, so you don't want to go too high on the pocket itself. And of course you're going to see where the glue attaches to the paper, but it's fairly see-through, so all you're going to see is the actual pressing, not the whiteness of the glue, because it dries clear. Is that kind of even? All right. And you can always put lace or trim around it, or paper if you don't like it. Oh, we're gonna still need this. So let's lay this one down. Okay, so we're just gonna go around the edges. This is a huge pocket, so I'm not worried about my glue moving around a little bit. Okay, I think there maybe. Okay. All right, and let's put this one on. And let's see where we want that. Right about there, I think. Not too far in. Okay. All right, so that is a couple of pockets done in the book. And not decorated or anything yet, but in there, so that's nice. So we'll add to that and maybe in the next video. Real quick, let's come back over to our tags, which should have had a second to dry. And let's punch them and put some ribbon in them, and then we'll be done for today. So I'm gonna just grab my slotted tag punch. And we'll do that. The lace is not gonna wanna come out easy, as you can see, but we'll have to cut it. So let's see if we can do that right now. I'm almost done, honey. Okay, and then we've got the next one. Okay, and then one more. Okay. See, it took off some of the flour there. Sorry for that noise. I'm not too worried about that because the, whatever I'm going to use will take off. I will cover, sorry. I'm trying to talk and work, and we all know how that goes sometimes. Okay. So let's just grab, I think for this we'll just use some chiffon. It's my little basket of chiffon. I got some of it on Amazon and some of it at another store, and I can't remember the name of the other store. It was online. I like this dark blue with that, so let's go ahead and grab, oh, there's a strip already cut. So let's put some of that in and just tie it. So we're just going to do that. Okay, so that's one done. Let's go to this one. I have this one here also, same way. That's lovely. Let's do this one like this. I think trims is one of my love languages in crafting, because I have more trim than I know what to do with, whether it's lace or ribbon or who knows what. I've got more than I know what to do with. Okay. It's a little persnickety for me. Oh, because I haven't cut it. Duh. Pull that through like that. That's nice. Let's get rid of some of that. Okay. And then last but not least is this guy. What color do we want to use? Is this the right color? Yeah, that's a nice color. This one's fat. I haven't cut it yet, so let's just do that, and we'll keep this one a little bit fat maybe. We'll see how it looks. I do have a pair of scissors for cutting fabrics. I just didn't get it out, so we'll see how this looks. If we need to trim it nice. We're just cutting up, oh, that looks great. All right, you guys, so that's it for today. A couple pockets, some tags. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.